I'm out here on a beach and today we're gonna be going after giant sea monsters. Cause I wanna catch them to feed them to all of my giant pond monsters that live in my house. But guys, there's just one huge problem. All the giant sea monsters, well, they're way out there inside of the ocean. But don't worry guys, I called a buddy and he should be pulling up any second. And he's actually gonna help us achieve today's mission. Yo, what's up buddy? And this is Captain Cody with Real Guides TV. And he's gonna help us go out and catch all of the giant sea monsters to feed my pets. And guys, I'll do anything to catch all of these giant sea monsters. Because as long as we complete my goals for today, it'll be a huge success. And our first goal of the video is to go out and catch some monster fish. Because guys, my animals back at the RAWWF Fam have gotten just way too big to feed them. And I end up just spending thousands and thousands of dollars on food and resources just to feed them, to get them bigger and bigger. And well, today, we're gonna go right around that. We're gonna go right to the source. And Captain Cody actually made me this map with all of his secret fishing spots. And with our new map in hand, we started driving out to the first spot of the day. And this spot is actually a trap that Cody put out previously, and it's called a pinfish trap. Oh, look at that, guys. And this thing should be filled with bait. Oh, look at that, guys. Woo! We already caught a bunch of fish. And if you guys look right here, we're just gonna open this up and we're gonna see all the different species that we caught. So we dumped all the fish out and we caught this cool stone crab, this little spider crab, and a bunch of pinfish that would be perfect for monster fish. And now that we have as much bait as we'd ever need in this live well, we're gonna get out of here and we're gonna go out to the next spot of today's video. And the spot we're going to is called the reef. This reef is special because there's giant sharks that would literally eat you in half if you jumped in the water. But in order to attract the giant sea monsters, we're gonna have to do a secret technique. It's actually called chumming the water. This right here is a huge block of grounded up fish. And well guys, when we put this in the water, it's gonna attract all of the monster fish. So we threw our giant block of chum in a thing called a chum bag and we threw it over the side of the boat. And now we're just gonna shake the bag right here and it's gonna put a bunch of chum out there. And it shouldn't be long till we attract some fish. And now there's a bunch of fish right there behind the boat. And all we're gonna do is take this little hookup jig, and this is actually a secret for catching giant yellowtail snapper. What it's gonna do, it's gonna just drift back in the current. So we casted out our bait, and because of the chum, we hooked up instantly. There we go. Guys, we're on right there. It literally happened that quick. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Nice. Oh, look at that. Now, guys, this right here, believe it or not, this fish right here is actually gonna be bait for later on in the video. Guys, at this point, we're just trying to catch a monster. And after fishing for about 20 minutes, we finally had the entire well filled with giant yellowtails. But while we were doing that, you wouldn't believe what Captain Cody was up to. Guys, we were just sitting here filling the well with giant yellowtails. And Captain Cody just hooked up on what looks to be a freaking sea monster this early in the video. Oh, look right here. Big old black grouper. Big old black grouper, guys. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, let's go. Oh my gosh. Guys, we haven't even really started the video and we've already caught a giant black grouper. And after putting our first sea monster in the icebox, this still wouldn't be enough to feed all of my giant pond monsters that live back at the RAWWF Fam. And now that our well is filled with giant bait fish, we're gonna be able to go to the next spot where we could potentially catch some giant sea monsters. So we pulled up the anchor and started driving over to Captain Cody's next secret fishing spot. And this one's called the Shipwreck. And guys, the bait for this spot, we're gonna be using a big old pinfish that we actually caught in that fish trap earlier in the video. And it's pretty simple. All you do is take it, throw it out in the water, and now we're gonna drop it all the way down to the bottom where the giant sea monsters live. Wonder what we're gonna catch. And after about 10 minutes of waiting, I got a huge bite on the bait. All right, guys, we're on. He just swallowed the giant pinfish that we caught earlier in the video. And I think he's right here, look down. Oh, look at that! Nice. Let's go! Oh yeah, let's go. Look at that thing, guys. That right there is a giant red snapper, guys.
Are you sure about that?
If you guys look right here, this is something very interesting. Because we're fishing in deep water, that's actually his stomach that's actually popping out like a tongue. And that's just pressure. We're gonna throw this guy inside of the fish box because this guy's coming back to the RAWWF Fam to help feed some of my giant fish. Nice, let's go. But guys, before we can use these giant reels to see if we can catch something down in the deep water, we're gonna have to fight our way through all of the giant sharks that live at this spot. We got a fish that's almost coming up, and it is a freaking sea monster like we've been talking about. So we kept battling to get some of the fish past the sharks, but we just kept breaking off. And because the sharks were so bad, we decided to pack up our stuff and go to the next spot on our map. And while we try and target the next giant monster fish that we're gonna feed our pets, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Insta360. Insta360 is one of the most valuable action cameras that I actually have for my channel. The new Insta360 X5 is the most powerful 360-degree camera yet. And when you're out here fishing all day long, this camera is packed with features for all day shooting because these fish are hard to target. And the 360 camera has 2 lenses, so it captures everything around you so that you don't miss a moment. Guys, they're right there. There's a bunch of fish up on top. I got a cast. Eat it. Come on, he's on. Oh, he's on. Nice. He's on. Come on. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Shark bait, guys. Woo! This is perfect, guys. Oh. So we're gonna catch this big old giant jack. We're about to put him on the hook to catch an even bigger sea monster. And guys, just like you saw with that underwater shot just now, the software automatically combines both lenses on this camera to make it a seamless 360-degree image. And you definitely don't need to worry about where the camera's pointing. So you can focus on what you're doing instead of worrying about the camera getting the perfect shot. Guys, it's literally perfect for a fishing boat. Just watch this. It's about to get the perfect shot of me throwing this giant jack down as bait. Ugh. Here, giant sea monster, where you at? And guys, trust me, it's so much better than a traditional action camera. You can use the free Insta360 app to get the best angle after the fact. Whoa, look at our bait dropping down. A sea monster is definitely gonna eat that. Oh, that's him. We got him, guys, let's go. Oh, it's a giant. Come on, get up here, big guy. Oh my God. Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! Guys, look at this giant grouper. And I'm sure that Insta360 shot is cool as well. Bye, buddy. Woo! And the best part is we got all of it on our brand new X5 from Insta360. And when the X5 is paired with the invisible selfie stick, the software automatically erases the stick. Woohoo! Look how cool that is! Let's go! And it's like having your very own drone or camera person following you around. And I never have to worry about a rough day on the water ruining our shots, because the X5 cameras are ideal cameras for fishing. It's packed to the brim with cutting edge features. One of those features is the X5's Elite stabilization. The camera's waterproof up to 15 meters right out of the box. No case needed. And it's perfect for capturing a shot as you're flipping in a giant fish into the boat. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice. It's a perfect big old keeper snapper. It's gonna go great for dinner. But if you want an even better underwater filming experience, check out the X5 Invisible Underwater Dive Case. Get complete 360 shots as deep as 60 meters with the underwater invisible dive case. Insta360 recommends using the invisible underwater dive cases no matter how deep you're gonna fish. And you'll be able to get amazing underwater shots just like the ones we've been showing you today. And the best part is the battery lasts up to 4 hours, and that's about how long it takes Jimmy to just catch one fish. So can you get this thing up, dude? Let's go. My gosh, it's a monster. Dude, that's a monster. That's a huge freaking grouper. Big old beautiful. Oh. And because we burned a lot of battery while Jimmy was fighting that giant fish, thank God the charger can charge this X5 back to 80% in just 20 minutes. And the X5 grabs every angle, so you never miss a moment, especially while fishing. Overall, this 360 camera is the most reliable on the market. And if you're new to 360 cameras, don't stress about the editing or cropping the shots, because with X5, you don't have to. It's quick, it's easy, and it's actually pretty fun. And the first 50 people to grab an X5 using my link gets a free invisible selfie stick and an additional 5% off of their purchase. So thank you Insta360 for sponsoring today's video and helping us produce the best content in all of my videos using their cameras. Alrighty guys, now let's get back to catching some monster fish, because now time to catch some more so I can feed my pets. So we moved to the next spot, and this would be the deepest water we've ever fished. And guys, now that we're starting to catch a bunch of fish, we're actually gonna go right here in this live well. I wanna see if I can just put on like a huge bait, kind of like this one. I wanna see what the heck's gonna eat it. We're gonna take this, put this right on the hook, just like that. We're gonna throw it on out there, and we're gonna send it down and see what the heck happens. And only after a couple of minutes, we hooked into the craziest looking monster of the video. Oh! Oh, big old red snapper. Oh yeah. Let's go, guys. Beautiful. Now this right here is a giant red snapper. Guys, at this point, I feel like we're just catching every type of species that lives out here. It's gonna help feed all of my fish and me. So keep watching soon because we're gonna eat this thing. And RAWWF fam, we caught a bunch of fish out here inside of the ocean. I think we're gonna run in and see if we can flay up some of these giant fish so that we can start feeding our pets. So we packed everything up and we went all the way back where it all started. And inside of this little cooler, if you come right here, this right here is called the black grouper. And guys, we're actually gonna fillet this fish up right here. We're gonna feed it to all of my giant pets back at the RAWWF fam where I live. So we took our knife and we put it in the back of this giant grouper and we ran it all the way down the fish. But guys, to make it even easier to clean, I'm gonna cut it up into smaller pieces so the fish doesn't get messed up. Look at that, guys. That's a perfect fillet and we didn't miss any meat. And we're gonna cut up some of this to eat, but more importantly, we got a bunch of fresh fish to go off and help feed all of the giant fish that obviously live back in my house at the RAWWF fam. But for now, I'm very hungry, so let's do a catch and cook with the black grouper before we feed all of the monster fish. So we hopped in the car and drove all the way back to the RAWWF fam so that we can cook up some of that giant grouper. And now we're gonna turn this giant fish right here into like a little fish sandwich because I'm starving, guys. I went out fishing all day. So first up, we actually removed the skin off of the piece of fish. And when you're done with that, it should look something like this. Perfect. And next up, you're just gonna take your knife and cut giant pieces, kind of like that, sideways off of your fish. Work your way down the entire fish. And when you're done, you should be left with a bunch of beautiful chunks of fish just like this. But RAWWF fam, we're not done yet. Next, you're gonna take your chunks and you're gonna put them in flour, eggs, and then in breadcrumbs. And when you're done, it should look just like this. And we already have some oil hot and fresh right here. We're gonna open it up and just put our fish right in. Oh, look at that. Perfect. So I threw in the rest of the giant grouper pieces to fry up. And once you're done, the fish should look just like that. And to go with our fish, we got out some bread, some cheese, and a little bit of lettuce, and it was ready to go. And guys, this was the perfect end to a day of fishing. It was swimming about a couple hours ago. See how it tastes. Oh my gosh, that is delicious. 25 out of 10. Doesn't get any fresher than that. But guys, we're not done yet. We still have to feed all of this giant fish to all the giant predators that live at the RAWWF fam. But guys, there's a huge problem. I have so many animals that actually live in my house that they could actually fight over the food. And that's why I made this animal list with all of the giant monsters that need to be fed. Because if these giants don't get fed, they can start attacking and killing all of the other animals at my house. And guys, we don't want that to happen. And to help make sure that didn't happen, we got some giant yellowtail that were actually used as bait earlier, and we're gonna chop these guys up to start feeding all of the animals that live at the RAWWF fam, starting with this one right here, Godzilla. Look guys, come here. Hi Godzilla, what's up buddy? Oh, that's so epic. So Godzilla is super hungry guys, but as you guys can see, the yellowtail isn't ready, and that's why we're gonna fillet it. So we took our knife and ran it all the way down the yellowtail, and now we are ready to feed Godzilla. And guys, we got our tongs right here, and we keep this skin on because it's super healthy, but watch this. Godzilla, come on. Oh, come on Godzilla. Oh, let's go. And because it seemed like Godzilla was super hungry today, we cut up a couple more pieces for him. But guys, this time I'm gonna be a little scary, and I'm gonna grab Godzilla out so you guys can see him. Whoa. Oh my gosh, guys. That is, oh my gosh. Oh, look at him. He's loving it. Let's go. Now that right there is Godzilla. Oh yeah, he's crazy. So we cut up a few more pieces of yellowtail to feed the rest of the turtles in my enclosure. And guys, now that Godzilla ate, we can check off our first monster off of our list. We could actually move on to our next animal on the list, and that would be Shadow. Guys, look at him. Shadow's ready to go. Come on, Shadow. Just grab one of these giant strips. Oh! Shadow, get back in your cage, buddy. And Shadow was absolutely loving it. And that's why we fed him a couple more pieces. And now that we fed Shadow, we can actually mark off another animal on our fish list, and we're almost halfway done. But as you guys can see, the shed is up next, and that means we can go off and feed all of the other crazy animals that live inside of the shed because Shadow ate first. So we threw some fresh yellowtail snapper in for Dino, Raptor, and we even gave a little bit to the flower horns. And that right there is going to complete the shed off of our list. And now it's time to move on to the predator pond, or aka the monster pond, where all of my giant red tails and hybrids actually live. But guys, before we go off and feed the predator pond, I think we have to go back in that cooler and get out another fish from our fishing trip. Let's do it. Look at that. So we grabbed our giant mutton snapper, walked over to the fillet table, and we actually filleted both sides of this giant snapper off. And when you're done with that giant snapper, you should have something that looks like this. A bunch of fish to feed all of the predators in the monster pond. All right, let's feed them. And one by one, I fed all of the predators, and they absolutely devoured all of the snapper. And now after feeding some of the giant monsters, we could actually cut this up into a bunch of little pieces for all the little fish, and we could feed the entire pond, probably off of just this. So we cut up a giant fillet into bite-sized pieces so that we could feed the entire monster pond. And after dropping a giant handful of fish into the pond, a bunch of fish came up and ate all of it. And now that the predator pond, aka the monster pond, is finally done, we can cross it off of our list, and now we are going to take all of the fish and bring them right over to Monster Lake. And we're gonna knock off the last check off of our list, but we need to go inside of this giant cooler to see what the heck we can feed all of the monster fish. And I'm gonna show you how fast a yellowtail just like this will get eaten at Monster Lake. Oh my gosh! I don't even know what that was. Yo, that could have taken my hand off. And well, guys, we have another giant yellowtail, and this time we're gonna fillet this one. Come here. So we took our giant yellowtail and filleted both sides off of it. And not only do we have one bait, but now we have three. Let's feed the monsters. Big monster just came in. You ready? It's gonna happen. He's gonna go. Oh my gosh! Woo! That's crazy. And luckily for us, guys, that was only one out of the 3 pieces just off the yellowtail. So let's keep feeding. Here we go. Look right here. Big old gar. Oh, that's a giant gar. And this is our final piece out of that yellowtail. Come on, right here. Giant catfish. Giant catfish. Oh, so majestic. Let's go. But Raw fam, if we're gonna be able to feed all of the giant monsters at Monster Lake, we're gonna have to resort to even serious measures. Look at this. This is a giant big old grouper, and we're gonna cut one side of it off to feed just to the giant monsters that live here. So I took my cutter and I actually took off one side of the giant grouper. And then I think we could use about that much to see if the monsters come up and eat it. That's perfect, just like that. Come on, anyone like grouper? Look at this, big old red tail right here. He wants the grouper. Oh, come on, buddy. Do you see that? It's so crazy. These things are insanely big. And look right there, big old red tail right there. Come on, buddy. Come on, right here. Look at right there. Oh, that's perfect. Let's go. And that right there was feeding all of the giant monsters that live at Monster Lake. So we can knock that off of our checklist. We don't need that anymore. And if you guys love today's awesome, amazing adventure, make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.